Yo, what up? Prince Sports here. Got the Wu-Tang shirt on. I swear to God, every time I go outside, I get people coming at me, literally walking up to me, asking about this Wu-Tang shirt. You know, people even singing songs of Wu-Tang Clan, jumping up and down. I'm like, you would have thought I was a Wu-Tang Clan member for the reaction that I get when I wear this shirt out in public. It's kind of crazy. But yo, I want to talk about the Brooklyn Nets. You know, it's a good thing I got this Wu-Tang shirt on because we're going to talk about, you know, a New York team. The Brooklyn Nets. All right. Now, they've been rumored to be going after Bradley Beal. Now, this is something that I'm going to take 100% because they're not going to want to pass up on a player like Bradley Beal because that would give them a chance to form a big three. But according to Bradley Beal's agent, they're playing coy. They're being very low key about it and saying, you know, Bradley Beal is not going to get traded. The Wizards not going to get that. I heard, you know how many times I heard that players aren't going to get traded and they end up getting traded? By the GM saying it, by the players saying it. So I always take that with a grain of salt. So if all these reports are coming out that Bradley Beal is going to go to the Nets, I won't be surprised if he gets traded this summer. Keep in mind, you got Kyrie and Kevin Durant on that team. And those guys on that team, somebody's going to have to make a sacrifice because they're all ball dominant players. And I mean, that's the thing when you put superstars together. People don't understand. You're not going to get the same amount of shots as you used to. Your production is going to go down. You know, somebody's going to have to be the alpha, the number one, then the number two. There's always a pecking order. No matter how good you are, there's a pecking order. All right. So I would say the number one option would be KD. Number two would be Kyrie Irving. And the number three would be Bradley Beal. So Bradley Beal would have to go from being a number two or a number one in this case because he wasn't playing with John Wall for most of the part anyway. John Wall's always hurt. But that would be a big adjustment mentally that he would have to make. I don't know if he would be able to do that because he always said he was loyal to the Washington Wizards franchise because he liked the spotlight of being the number one guy. So it's going to be very interesting to see if he can make that jump. But I tell you this much, that lineup would be Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Bradley Beal, Kevin Durant, and who's the other guy? Jared Allen. That's not a bad starting lineup. Now, keep in mind, they may go out and get a different center, you know? But that's one hell of a lineup. That's a good, potent, and easily one of the best lineups in the NBA and one of the top teams in the East. If they get their hands on Bradley Beal and everybody comes back healthy, there is no doubt in my mind that the Brooklyn Nets would be going to the NBA Finals. I got them going to the Finals this upcoming season anyway. There's something that tells me that they're going to go to the Finals this upcoming season. And I do believe if the Lakers don't make it this year, they probably make it next year because they're going to make some changes to that roster if they lose. I still got the edge to the Clippers. I still got the Clippers with the edge. And I definitely got the more of an edge now because they'd be going into the season without nobody hurt. And a healthy Kawhi Leonard, a healthy Paul George, and that whole supporting cast is kind of scary. I mean, player for player, it's kind of tough. You know, I think the only X factor the Lakers have is Anthony Davis for the most part. I mean, LeBron James is a great basketball player, but when it comes to Kawhi Leonard seems to be a type of player that goes at him a lot. And LeBron has really not that much answers to stopping Kawhi Leonard when Kawhi Leonard's trying to score. But you never know. So if that comes into fruition, you would have a Lakers-Nets finals, KD versus LeBron finals. Because I said this era belongs to Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, and LeBron James. They're fighting for that number one spot to claim king of this era. You know, it's a little unfair to LeBron because he's coming out of his prime. Technically, he's supposed to be out of his prime. You know, some players don't really last that long. But it would be more, it has more logic to say that the next era belongs to KD or Kawhi Leonard. But nevertheless, LeBron's still in there and he's still battling for that spot. And, you know, you could do the 2010s as the LeBron James era, you know. But, man, I put together a trade piece that would be good for this Brooklyn Nets team. So, you got Spencer Dinwiddie, Chris LeVert, DeAndre Jordan. You had to pick DeAndre Jordan to make it work with the money. 2 first-round draft picks. Okay, that's the biggest selling point because Bradley Beal is a legit all-star. He averages 25, 20-plus points a game, respectively. And that's a lot to Ants. That's a lot for the Washington Wizards to give up because superstars, or not superstars, all-stars don't come dropping off a tree for a franchise like the Washington Wizards. So for them to even think about getting rid of Bradley Beal for a bunch of pieces that's not, you know, all-stars, it's quite compelling, basically. But if they do make that trade, they will have Spencer. They have a couple good pieces. They'd definitely be a team rebuilding for the future. And I think the 2 first-round draft picks, 2020, this year and 2022, I think that Brooklyn Nets have. That's all they can ask for, and they'd be a team for the future. And Brooklyn Nets would be ascending to a team of the present, trying to win the championship now. So only time will tell to see what happens. But if Kevin Durant could win a championship, being the number 1 guy on the Brooklyn Nets, I think his credibility will get boosted up. You know, he was starting to get a little more respect. So through the eyes of some people, you know, because of that whole, you know, Golden State Warriors stuff. But yeah, that would be one deadly ass team if the Brooklyn